Hello, YouTube. Oh, first off, I want to thank all of you who have contributed to the GoFundMe that was posted to try to help me get into a new vehicle. You really touched my heart. I was surprised that we were able to raise so much money in like one day. We were able to get $495, actually slightly more for those of you who donated directly via, had a couple people donate directly via PayPal. So that's like 20-25% of our goal of $2,000. So I am really right now actually very deeply touched. I was actually surprised that you know, the GoFundMe actually had people respond and do more than lip service. As a military vet, those of you who are vets with me, you know that a lot of people, when they find out that you're a veteran, they come up to you and say, thank you for your service. And sadly, for most people, they think that that's all that needs to be done to help veterans who are struggling, you know, after they leave the service. Telling someone thank you for your service is nice, but if you're still going to leave them homeless, unemployed, unable to get any work, and without resources to get themselves back on their feet as a civilian, okay, after serving in the military, you're just pretty much giving lip service. And I was really touched because people actually dug into their pockets and actually tried to help me, and are helping me right now, because even though we haven't hit our goal, I am just deeply moved and touched, you know, that in one day you were able to raise more money than I earned in like a week or two of working, you know, the jobs that I've been working. So for me, the $495, $500, maybe $520, $510 so far that has been raised, has a lot more value than the $500. It at least lets me know that people care, you know, that people who haven't even met me face to face care enough to actually reach out and do more than just say thank you for your service. And I know a lot of the people who donated don't even, you know, didn't donate because they knew that I was prior military. I didn't really emphasize that on the initial GoFundMe because I didn't think anything of it. But then some people contacted me and let me know that maybe I should let people know that I am indeed a veteran. And not just a veteran, but a homeless veteran, which points to an even bigger problem, which is that this country here, this great country that we call America, seems to have a huge homeless veteran problem. Okay, just the other day I was watching another fellow vet post on his Facebook page about two more veterans just offing themselves, I guess right in front of a major government building, I guess to make a statement here. But this is what our nation, how our nation thanks veterans for their service. You know, the veteran serves. I guess the only people who really understand or can get where I'm coming from are other prior military, other veterans basically. You know, there's a certain sense of camaraderie between brothers in arms because we went through the training. And some of us, me sort of, but not really, have actually gone through combat. Myself, you know, the only conflict that I was actually involved in was, I don't know if you guys remember the raid on Libya. Yeah. Gaddafi came on TV, said he wasn't afraid of the United States, and next thing you know, I was involved in that. But because of that, that was not declared a war, even though we sent all our planes there and pretty much set Gaddafi straight. And he stopped going on the air to talk about how, he wasn't afraid of the United States and what we could do to him in his country. But basically, that wasn't declared a war. And because of that, I don't qualify for a lot of veteran services. I don't know if you realize or if people know, but veterans are ranked, by what conflicts they served and what Congress sets aside for benefits, if you want to call it that, for having served in that operation. One of the groups that has really been hurt in the past and still is even hurt now to an extent are the Vietnam veterans. They did not have a lot of established programs in place to help them, and that's what helped to set off this whole chain of events of people saying thank you for your service. And when people looked back and saw how the Vietnam veterans were treated, I think Desert Storm, all the the desert wars that have come since then, the veterans have a little bit more resources that are set up and designed to help them somewhat reacclimate themselves to civilian life. But even those veterans may suffer PTSD. I myself don't really think I suffer PTSD, although maybe I do. It's kind of hard to tell, but I know that certain things make me jittery and I need things to be a certain way. And sometimes I do, have a hard time sleeping and I kind of freak out. But I don't really think it was related to war or conflict in the sense that, I wasn't actually on the battleground. Although we did, the training obviously can cause PTSD. Anyone who's gone through military training, some people don't make it because they crack. And the ones that do make it, maybe they did crack somewhat. Because the way the military works is they actually take a person, at least this is my perception of it. I hope the wind may be too much here today, so this video may not even come out. But the way the military works for training, they kind of take a person and break you down, break you apart. So during training, you kind of lose your identity. You stop becoming who you are, and then you become a unit. You become a number. You become property of Uncle Sam. And in order to do that, they basically tear you, the individual, apart. So you lose yourself. And you go there, I guess if you're young like me, you go there as a young man or a young boy, and you leave there as a soldier. A unit that has sworn to put your life on the line to defend this great nation. And in order to accomplish that goal, sometimes they really do affect your mind and your, your perceptions on life and how you think and how you feel and how you behave and how you react. I think to an extent that may be part of what contributes to PTSD in the vets, because they literally rip you apart from yourself. And then after you get out of training, you kind of try to find your way back. You try to become who you were somewhat before you joined the military, before you became a soldier. And maybe some people never truly make it back. I know there are pieces of me that are forever gone since I became a soldier. But I can only imagine that it would be compounded for those who were in the military in a actual wartime situation, because they ship you off. So you do your training and then they send you into combat. You don't get much time to pull yourself back together and retain your identity somewhat. And if they just send you straight off to combat, you know, you don't have that pause where you can kind of reassume yourself. And even me, you know, we were involved in some conflicts, but they weren't declared as war. I had it a little bit easier in the sense that I did not get deployed, at least not overseas. So I can only imagine, you know, my brothers in arms who have actually served in actual combat situation. Now, I don't think me being homeless or unemployed was necessarily due to me having been a soldier before. And I don't know if the country really truly owes me anything for having served. But one of the things that can kind of irk me a little bit is, you know, as a veteran, I often hear people say, thank you for your service. But then I look around at how the country thanks the veterans, and you find that that's pretty much it. You know, there are some services available, but I don't think there's enough. When you have so many homeless vets, literally, I guess tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of us out there who are struggling just to be normal, just to hold down a steady job, to not be homeless. And when you have at least one or two veterans killing themselves, committing suicide every day, that should be a signal that there's a problem. And just going around telling someone, thank you for your service, or telling a vet, thank you for your service, isn't enough. You've got to do more than that. You know, it makes me sad sometimes as a veteran and as a citizen of the United States that it seems like we treat the foreign refugees better than we do treating our own people, our own veterans, and our own citizens. Not that I don't think the United States should stop helping other countries, because that is one of the things that makes the United States what it is. One of the greatest nations in the world is that we care. You know, we come in and we try to help countries that are struggling, that are, you know, run by dictators or whatever, and we try to help those people. And I think it is important that we continue to help those refugees, help those people who are in a country that doesn't value humanity and human rights. But at the same time, we shouldn't turn a blind eye to our own citizens. Not just our vets, but our citizens. You know, there are homeless people here. Not just veterans, but homeless people. People who at one time were contributing members of society, but something has happened to the point where they can't afford to live in a home anymore. They've lost their home and are either, you know, in our group, the Living in a Van group, trying to struggle to survive, or they are on the streets. Some of the people that I go up to and try to feed and help out whenever I can, those are citizens of the United States. And it seems to me they have less resources or less help available to them than people who aren't even citizens of this nation. You know, I'm not saying that we shouldn't help refugees coming in, or, you know, people who are going to become future citizens. But we should take care of our own as well, if not better, you know, because these are people who are already United States citizens, and we treat them horribly. If you don't believe me, just look around at a park bench somewhere or under a bridge and you'll see what the problem is. Those aren't foreigners laying under there. Those are United States citizens. And in a country as rich as this nation is, that shouldn't be happening. And, you know, on a personal basis, for me, what makes it even sadder is most of the time those people that are under the bridge are indeed a U.S. military veteran. So until next time, everyone, I hope, you know, that you'll keep these thoughts in mind when you want to walk up and say to a veteran, thank you for your service. Are you truly thanking them or just giving them lip service? Take care, everyone. God bless you all.